Welcome back, everyone, to yet another broadcast. I know it was only about 2 minutes between the last broadcast, but now we are at the S&M Iracing Motorsports main event here. Practice wrapping up. We'll be starting qualifying in just a second for these guys. You see the checker flag waving, indicating the end of practice. These drivers going to go around the Chicagoland Speedway here. And let's go ahead and take a look at what a qualifying lap might just look like for some of these guys here this evening. Going down the front straightaway here as everything when I went to Twitch moved itself. Let's get it back to what it should look like. There it is. Get yourself to the bottom of the racetrack the best you can. Try to carry as much momentum as possible out of turn 2. Get that thing up against the wall. Try to give yourself the best arc. It's a little later of an entry. James, as they enter turns 3 and 4 there, you see the blinding sun. That is going to be an issue as the race starts to transition into the night here at S&M. We have James Jepson up in the booth with us yet again for this one. He'll be here from the start for the S&M Racing Series here this evening on the CSR broadcast channel there. That lap right there, James, I'm pretty proud of myself. When I put that lap together, that was a 30.019. So it was a pretty sporty lap around here. Absolutely. These drivers were talking about the aero block, so these guys are going to be aggressive to try to get right here, James, to the Gatorade victory lane from Chicagoland Speedway. Qualifying is underway here for these drivers. It looks like we have, like James said, around 30 cars. A lot of them are the regular drivers. We know the SMT crew that we were just watching at Daytona, and some of their drivers are quickly jumping into this one as well. So this should be a pretty full field here. The admin teams are going to be all over what's going on the racetrack at S&M. We don't want to kick anybody, but this is our hosted Friday night main event. So if anyone's being a little goofy, they have definitely no problems getting rid of guys on the racetrack. I believe we are doing 135 laps, so maybe 150 around here tonight, James. 40% fuel. About 20 laps of fuel on board for these guys, so pitch strategy is going to be a big part of it, James. Escamilla. Escamilla. Just jumped into P5. Well, while these guys finish up qualifying, James, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's national anthem before we set the grid in this one.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing out, yeah.
are. We are back here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Looks like Juan Escamilla is going to put it on the pole for this evening's race, with Dustin Buck starting on the outside here. We'll get you our grid cam as they start to roll off. But before we do that, let's take a quick gander at tonight. It looks like the track temp is about 83 degrees. Not too bad. The track will cool down, James, as we go around. The speeds will increase, the grip will increase, and these guys will really start to fly around this racetrack. Before these guys get moving, let's hurry up and take a look at the grid. We don't have nearly as much time, James, to look at all this stuff to start out these races here at Chicagoland as we do the Super Speedway. So Juan Escamilla is going to win the pole by 1/100th of a second over Dustin Buck, Everett Smith, Trevor Haley, Randy Showers, who we just saw in that last race, rounding out the top 5, Dylan Butler, Nick Bauman, Kyle Cameron, Dave Scott made this one as well, Nicholas Parker, Zachary Cato, Matthew Brown, your top 12 here.
And we got Kevin Steedley in 13th, and we got Trevor Gardner 14th, Chad Justin 15th, Daniel Smith 16th, Brandon Showers 17th, Ricky Miles in the 18th. He's going to be one to watch tonight. Brandon Hilton 19th, Peyton
Kaleba. I think it's Kaleba
20th, and I'll let you take it from there.
All right, Bradley. I'm not even going to try to mangle that. We're just going to call it Bradley in the 10 machine there. In the 21, Chris Sawyer in the 22, Kevin Dixon 23rd, Todd Robbins in 24th there. Let's see. I did obviously not take the grid, so it looks like the last guy on the racetrack going to get this thing fired off is going to be the 009 of Kevin Dixon on the racetrack as these guys begin to roll around the racetrack, James. Well, we are in for a good one here this evening. Let's bring up our graphic. You see the 01 car. That's what we like to call it there, James. You'll have to get used to that with Juan Escamilla behind the wheel. He put a little accent grave above the 1 there on the side of that on the 01 machine, so we could call it the 01 machine. And then you have the 00.
01, there we go.
We have the 00 on the outside there. I have a feeling this one is going to be a blast here from Chicagoland this evening. It looks like they are going to be nice to us, James. It looks like they are going to give us one more lap around under caution to get this thing started. Trevor was much nicer to these guys than I am. I like to leave the marbles on 100% to start this race to make them clear off the high side before they get on up there. But tire wear is going to be a huge factor in this one tonight, James.
Oh yeah, tire wear now is not going to be too bad, but as the temperatures cool down, that track is going to start taking up more and more rubber. And I think the further along this race we have tonight, the more aggression people are going to get, because those tires are going to start sticking if they're new. And once they start going away, that's when I think things will happen and tempers will flare.
Absolutely. So we have my keys to the race this evening. Obviously, we just talked about it. Save that right front tire. Watch the track temps. Right now it's hot and slick. You could burn up that tire just because of the heat of the racetrack. And when we are going to have green flag pit stops at some point in this race, transitioning down to pit road speed is going to be huge to make sure you do not get a black flag. Pit strategy and fuel strategy is going to play into this. They have about 20 to 22 laps of fuel on board of these cars, and Michael Wiley is not here with us for the main event. I did not see him, but always say you gotta beat the 12 or the 48. Right now the 12 is already starting outside the second row, so always a hard guy to beat here. You see the 4 really scrubbing in those tires. That was my keys to this race. You know, James echoed the same concerns. That right front, James, these guys on this setup have about 10 laps at full throttle to really get this thing going, but after that you have abused the right front, and here we are green from Chicagoland. 150 laps with the S&M Iracing Motorsports.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
You saw the 4 car taking a look. Now you see the 12 maybe trying to get above the 00 here. He's going to think better of it, going to get back in line here. A pretty full field here this evening, James. Going around, you're going to see the 10 drive it to the bottom of the racetrack, see if he can get it to stick, but the 00 is going to have a big run up off the corner. Juan going to try to shorten this. I mean, this is what we love about this racetrack. Got 3 wide guys all over the racetrack. Zach Cato, the 21's going to be loose into one, going to stack him up on the outside, but he hangs onto it. Great save there for Randy. We just saw him in that last race, unfortunately, get taken out there at the end of that one. So right now, James, looks like we're about the same exact field size as the SMT crew. Looks like we got about 23 cars on the racetrack right now, James.
Yeah, we do, and we've already got the SMT crew and S&M crew. That we're all good friends. But when we get on the track, that's a whole different story. But they support S&M, we support SMT, Dark Horse. The 3 main teams here. We're all good friends, but boy, we sure do know how to tell each other they made a mistake at the end of a race, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. You see it there. One of the keys to the race, beat the 12, and, well, it didn't take long. From P4 to the point, Trevor Haley is going to complete lap 3 at the point, starting lap 4. You see the Ford machine getting up there. Trevor looks like he's already going to be defending the high side. I'm curious with the hotter temperatures if these guys are just going to go immediately to the high side and try to save. You saw the 21 a little loose earlier. Let's get a look back at him. You see the 21-23 combo. Boy, we just saw this recently, didn't we? And the 23 is going to be up in the wall. Maybe got a little bit of the marbles there. Brandon, the winner of the SMT opening race from that one, up there. Dave Scott coming around. So I wonder, James, with the hotter temperatures, I have a feeling it must be that these guys are maybe not wanting to go to the bottom of the racetrack right now. It might be a little loose on the bottom of the racetrack with the track tempo almost about 90, 88 pounds the outside wall. I mean, these guys say it gets tight, tucked up behind somebody in these Gen 6 cars. We saw it there, James.
Yeah, the high side, there's 2 reasons you want to run the high side, I think, from our experiences. You can save tires on the high side. Now you see Trevor going down low like that. He's scrubbing that right tire pretty good. He's going to start wearing that down. You stay on that high side, and you're going to be able to save your tires, maybe get an extra lap or 2 on that. But these guys don't like sitting behind somebody else, and they're going to do it, and they're going to go down low if they think they can do it. And sometimes they just don't think about that tire.
Well, you saw it there from the 88. He wasn't thinking about the right front tire. He said, I want the clean air. He dove it to the bottom of the racetrack under his teammate. Now the 12 going to try to make the move back to him. They're approaching 190 miles an hour, even with a side draft going down the front straightaway. Can the 88 stay on the quarter pedal of the 12? He does. Now this is where, James, we got a little rivalry among teammates. A little door check down the back straightaway.
Oh, them two are never short for a story of rivalry. Teammates sometimes can be their own worst enemies.
Oh, absolutely. Especially we have seen these two. I mean, if you follow the S&M Racing Series, you see these guys always 1-2 on the finishes, photo finishes, sideways finishes. 000 is going to wash up and give a tour check over there to the 4. Some of the aggressiveness already coming into play. As look at this here there, James. Kyle Cameron already up to 5th place, making his way forward to that awesome painted 55 machine.
Yeah, I've been noticing, but he's been staying to the high side, so I think he's saving a little bit of tire to see where he can get by the end of this stage. And you notice the old Juan there. He started up front. His first 2 laps, he was running down in that low side. I think he realized he wants a little bit more tire, so I think he's cooled off the tires a little bit, and he's going to see what he can do on the high side too. But don't leave him out.
Oh, well, he's in the wall hard. Yep. He's got the right front tore up on the Juan car of Juan Escamilla. He's down there inside wall. May have having some connection issue. He jumps to pit road. Might have to tow. He was up there in the draft on the high side as Trevor Haley's got back to the high side on the 88. Going to force the 88 to the bottom of the racetrack. But now Justin Buck is going to be right there. Can he split the difference?
Oh, this race tonight's going to be leaders passing leaders. We're going to have a lot of lead change tonight. We're going to have a lot of motion. I mean, we're only watching the front right now, but I'm sure later on as things heat up a little bit and we start watching what they're doing in the back, we're going to see some people in the back start running up front. They're just getting used to the track right now. They're getting used to the hot, slick tires and the slick driving. When it cools down a little bit, I think we're going to see a lot more action.
Oh, absolutely. As the track will transition to the night, the grip levels are going to fly. We'll go back here a little further in the field here. You see the 10 and the 69 side by side. They are battling back here for the 14th and 15th positions. We had a wreck. Nicholas Parker is around on the back straightaway. That should bring out our first caution of the race. S&M, no cautions in the first 5 laps, so we will see. As the leaders were already at turns 3 and 4, we might see the yellow flag next time around, James. Then we'll try to get a look back at what happened at that one. It seems like every time we try to go through the field, we miss something that happens on the racetrack, James.
I think they do that to us because, as we learn and we make our mistakes, they let us know, so they're gonna pull one on us every once in a while too, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. As we are coming out of turn 4, there is the caution. It looks like Juan Escamilla has got back on the racetrack, so maybe just some damage there. Broken right front. We'll see what happens here off of turn 4. Gonna be oh man, they're just close. There's a lot of side draft in the 4s. You see the 4 hard over, getting the
Ooh,
outside
looks
wall.
like we got the 43 gave 'em a little push, and well, we'd have to see it from the backside. I don't want to make any presumptions there, but
Oh yeah, the 4 car's gonna smack the outside wall, kind of kill his momentum, spin him around right in front of this field. Everyone else doing a pretty good job of missing the wreck. You see Ricky Miles and Kevin Dixon turning over that 4 cars. The tires are still spinning. He's trying to get that thing fired back up. There, he gets him locked down. So let's go back up front, James. Here, I would not be surprised if you see each and every single lead car coming down pit road right here.
now the question is, we're at 11 laps in. They're going to get fuel. Are they going to just get right side tires and go from there? It all depends on what that left tire is. If they've checked their tire wear and see if they only need a half tire, if they want a whole tire here.
Absolutely. I mean, as the race cools down, oh, Trevor overshoots his box. That is definitely going to hurt. You see, and right sides go up on the 00 car of Dustin Buck there. Do they opt for 4? I'm going to say yes. And you see it there. A lot of these guys are going to want the 4 tires here at the start of this one. 2 tires are definitely going to become more of an option as they go around. You see the race off of pit road, almost 3 wide with some of those guys. Trevor Haley going to lose a ton of track position there with sliding through the box. S&M, you see the cars still ripping around the track. Anybody who goes a lap down, you are free to get your laps back at S&M. Get your laps back while you can here. The 69 now with a strategy call. Don't know if he got a lap back or if he just... I don't know if this move, if he stays out, is going to be one that he's going to like very much here with all these guys with fresh tires behind him. But I have a feeling with the sun being out, the track being a little hotter, that left side probably had a lot more wear than they're used to. We usually run this thing in the dusk, running right into the evening where the temps drop. So I have a feeling, James, that left side, that left front tire definitely wore a little more, where these guys are going to be more apprehensive on taking 2 tires this soon in the race.
Well, I would agree with you there, but sometimes taking a risk at the beginning of a race to see what your car will benefit later on in the race.
Absolutely. I think Ricky Miles is one of those guys that decided to take the 2, maybe try to see how his car handles here. They are going to stay green until lap 45 now, James. So about 30 laps. We're definitely going to see here at this point who takes care of the right front tire and the right rear. We were definitely getting some wear on the right rear here with these cars. These guys trying to slide it down into the corner. So it'll be curious. The field is definitely going to stretch out as this run goes on, because you're going to have about 30 laps under green now, James.
Right.
So going to be interesting who takes care of their stuff and who who burns it up quick. The comers and goers, as they like to say.
Right. You were talking about Ricky Miles a minute ago. And one thing I've learned about racing with Ricky is he likes to take chances. And he's gotten to the point, he's gotten pretty good. And when he's taking a chance, he's got a reason for it. And you've been seeing Ricky race, he might be in the middle of the pack most of that night, but don't ever put Ricky out, because he will get to that front if he has the opportunity and doesn't get caught up in the melee.
Absolutely. Here, the 69 car, got to be careful of some tire spin. He's going to check the field up here. Didn't quite get going. That's going to stack him up a little bit. 69 does get going. 4 car already going to make a move down to the bottom side of the racetrack. I just don't think the 11 lap tires are really going to play into his cards very well right now. You already see him back to 4th. The 21's going to turn under him on the straightaway. Yeah, those it looks like the tire wear is going to be fairly significant on these cars. You see them already back to the 5th position. I have a feeling as they go into 3 and 4. Yeah, he's just going to get punted out of the way there.
He just got a little loose there. Now he's got to get caught up. You know that's got to be a little frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. You go from the lead to... he's getting turned by Trevor Haley. He came up in front of him. Don't be surprised if you see that car disappear. Oh, and then he just lets it slide. Yep, there he goes. He gets the boot. We say we don't like to kick guys here, but you're going to pull some dumb things like that on the racetrack. Well, you get what you have coming to you, James. I mean, that was just a foolish move. Already fell to 14th, and then just trying to throw a block for what reason on lap 17 of 150 lap race, James. Sometimes I just don't get the big out.
Nope, and I don't think we should go to the replay, give him the credit. That was just a bad move on his part, because whether it was anger or not, and you know what, he did it to the wrong person, because I'm pretty sure that's where the button came from. Oh,
I'd be willing to put my life savings on that. That didn't. That guy wasn't even done wrecking, and he went out there and got the boot. Well, the 4 car out of all that of Everett Smith has gone to the front. We see Ryan Wilson. He says, "I decided to watch here instead. I'm not the best at Chicagoland and didn't want to embarrass myself." One of our regular drivers. I didn't think you did too bad last time here, Ryan. I thought you did okay. I did tweak on the setup a little bit. It grips a little better. We see a car about to go a lap down already. Looks like it's a 34 machine of Tommy Rogers, so I wonder if he got caught up in that as well there, James.
It's a very good chance. Another one that we got Trevor Haley that's down because of the issue that happened. But you know what? I think, we were just talking, I didn't catch the name, but he said he's not very good at Chicagoland. He's going to watch. The only way you can learn, and that's what SMT, that's what S&M, Dark Horse, that's what they're all in for. They want the new guys to come out and race and learn, because the only way you can get better is by learning, not leaving a race.
Absolutely, and Ryan is a regular driver, usually one of the guys you see up front, especially on the super speedways. But Nick Bauman to the lead here. We saw the 4 car on the bottom of the racetrack for a good portion of the opening laps of this stage. I wonder how that is going to play out for him. You see him, he's going to stay tucked up behind the 88 here. I think at any point, if there's somewhere you want to be, it's in the lead, man. These cars definitely have quite a bit of aero block. Well, it seems like they're fairly tame up front. Let's go ahead and get a look a little further back here. We've got up 14 spots already there. One of your good buddies, James, Kevin Dixon.
Yeah, Kevin, he's always going to get up there. I run with Kevin. I run behind him. Good racer, clean racer. Don't put him down. Put him out of the race. He'll get to the front. What we see right now, he's running the high side. He's taking care of them tires. He's giving that number 26 plenty of room on the low side. And, that's another one that came from the back moving up to the front.
Yeah, up 15 spots right now for Kevin Dixon. You got some action in the front. The 4 goes around. Kevin with a great dodge right there. Not sure what happened with that one. Let's go back and take a look, because we're not going to get a yellow flag for that. It looks like the 4 car is going to wash up. Yeah, he's just going to wash up. If you see on the left side of your screen here, he tries to get the bottom. I called it earlier. He ran the bottom of the racetrack at the opening. He's just going to slide up there and catch the left rear of the 88 and then go around it. He overcorrects, trying to hang on to that thing. And here comes the showers. And just nowhere to go for the 21 or the 23. The 23 almost up and over the back of the 21 car here. You see the big dodge from the 009 there. He was screaming inside that thing, trying to miss that.
Oh yes, and he was, and I feel bad for Brandon. I was just watching him. I was getting ready to say, let's go look at Brandon, because he was one of those that came from the back to the front. He was up like 16, 18 spots, and then all of a sudden, not to anything he did, he got caught up in a little bit of a wreck, so hopefully he can get back. These guys will get the laps back at stage break. Another thing we do at S&M Racing, and that is they get their laps back at stage breaks. We will always want everybody on the lead lap, so we'll be watching him in stage 2.
Well, Dustin Buck made a run at the lead there. Maybe Dustin Buck is definitely one of the better drivers at S&M at saving the right front. We see it all the time, especially on short tracks. He is deadly there. He takes care of his equipment. I wonder what he's going to have for the 88 as this stage goes on. He takes a look to the middle of the track, just trying to get out of the dirty air. You see the sun already starting to go down. Shadows are increasing on the racetrack. So as we go around, what do we start with? An 86-degree start, 84-degree track temperature. We're already down. We're down a little bit, not too much just yet. There still is a lot of sun on the racetrack right now, but it is starting to go down. We'll go back here a little further in the back of the pack. One guy switching up his paint on us tonight. The 6 is Zachary Cato. He's in a purple machine. He's usually in that bright painted green machine there, James.
Oh, he might just want to be playing incognito tonight. You know, every once in a while we all got to change our paint schemes to. Oh, is that who I think it is?
Trevor Haley just behind him.
Yep.
Trevor is one lap down, running around in 16th right now. Probably had to go down and get his repairs, but Zach Cato, that is an awesome looking car. Zach Cato has continued to impress here at S&M. He's had some great runs with us. I believe, what was he? 4th last night, 3rd a couple times at Daytona. I don't think it'll be long before you see the 6-car victory lane here. The 12 on fresher tires is just going to turn to the bottom of the racetrack and go around him here. He'll probably clear him in turns 3 and 4, just having the fresh Goodyears on that thing. Sounds like we had another guy in the wall there. I definitely think track temperature is playing mind games with these guys. We'll go up here and take a look at the 75. He continues to wheel that thing around. He is just outside the top 10 right now. I'm still surprised at the amount of guys at the bottom of the racetrack, James.
Yeah, it's hard to get off that bottom of the racetrack sometimes on any track you're on. You know, you just get that comfort level. Now, on any of the super speedways, if you gave me the option, I'd run the wall. I love running the wall, and you know, I'll take a 4 wide to run the wall. But these guys running on the low track, I don't understand. You know, they're wearing out their tires a little bit too soon.
Yep, you just saw there, it looks like the 5 of Ricky Miles was trying to get down pit road and may have missed the entrance there. He had that right front locked up, so maybe some guys opting to shorten up their stops here as the 88 continues to lead. He's back down to the bottom of the racetrack as well, so I haven't gotten much experience on the track with the temps up. We usually run it pretty cool, but I do like that we're throwing these drivers for a little bit of a curveball here. You see it there off the nose of the 88. That sun is not far from being in these guys' eyes going into turn 3, James.
Oh yeah, and since we're talking about the leaders, we got Justin Buck right behind good old Nick Bowman there, and I think he's plotting because he's running the same line as Nick is. He's running he's keeping the same distance. I think Nick's watching his mirror and going, what am I going to do? And I think Dustin's going, kitty, just like old Tony Stewart used to do. He used to follow that leader.
Yeah. Get on that radio and pump his team up saying, I'm coming, boys.
And he'd just call that kitty out, and later on in the race, he used all that knowledge. So I think Nick's got his hands full right now because he's given old Dustin, showing him what he's got and what his lines are. Oh, and then we just had Dustin touch the wall.
We heard the onboard of these guys. Let's get on board here. We heard Nick on the bottom of the racetrack, out of the throttle for quite a while, so these tires are definitely starting to wear out on these guys. Can they make it to the end of the stage? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close for some of these guys. Let's take a listen in here. Half throttle, about mid-quarter before he's back into it. So yeah, these guys are definitely starting to feel the wear on these tires. We'll go back to leader, see what his throttle input is like going into 3 and 4. Yeah, definitely able to get back to the throttle a little earlier for the 88 there than Dustin in turns 1 and 2. James, we said it would start to string out as the run went on here. The 26 car holding a great pace here. He's up 13 spots. He's up to P3. Kevin Dixon is still the biggest mover of the race right now. He is up 17 spots, riding in sixth, and Kyle Cameron just continuing a good run for him here. James, I'm just really curious what the thoughts are. Do you think these guys are good on fuel? They went down pit road lap 10. We said they had about 22 to 23-ish laps on fuel. So unless you're saving, are you going to make it?
You know, I think everybody's going to have to at least do a short pit there. I don't think you can save on Chicago like you can on a super speedway.
Not unless you have a big help from the draft. And sometimes there is a trick. If you know your right front's wore out, you just clutch it instead of letting the car. You clutch it a little earlier. Let the car roll into the corner instead of letting the gears slow you down. But yeah, the Bauman's about to complete lap 23. So definitely think now the curiosity is going to be, James, are you taking a splash of fuel? Are you taking rights? Do you take all fours? So then maybe you just take the splash of fuel, or maybe just right side tires on the stage break. What do you do if you're the leader, Nick Bauman, here as you're pulling away from the field? I mean, you're kind of at the mercy of what everyone does behind you, but they're also at your mercy of what do you do? Is I see the 88 slowing down here. Is he making his way onto pit road? He sure is. Here
Yes,
comes
he
leader.
is.
Dustin Buck on the outside. Smooth entry there for the 88 machine. We'll see if anybody else is going to follow him in here. James, what if you're Nicholas Bauman, what do you take? You take two? Do you try to keep the lead with the clean air? Or do you want to take your four tires and try to cycle back out at the stage?
At this stage of Gumfer, if I was Nick, I'd test out the water, see what I can do with four tires and where I'd end up on the stage. You know, you got three or four stages on this tonight. I'm not exactly sure when the stage is here tonight.
45 and 90 is all they got. So it looks
Okay,
like two
45
tires
and
for the
90.
88.
So yeah, then what you do is, you know, if you take the two tires, you know what your car's going to do later on, and if you're a good driver and you were paying attention what track temps are going to get cooler later on versus now, those are all decisions you got to make. So practice now, so when you in the second half of the race, you know what you're going to do. Test now, do it later, win the race.
Well, Dustin is going to continue to stay out on the racetrack right here. So I wonder if he's going to try to stretch it here. Him and the 26 machine and Escamilla look like they are pushing it 26 laps on this fuel load. I would be shocked if these guys end up making it the extra 5 laps here. We'll try to get some speeds going into the quarter. He has really backed down his speed, so he must be in a ton of fuel conservation mode. It doesn't look like he wants to come down pit road, James. So does he stay out?
He's running about 178 right now. I've got him up on my telemetry. You know, being that they're not listening to us, just our fans are. I see what his speed is. He has slowed it down a little bit. There goes, and all of a sudden in my screen, Nick just passes him like he's sitting still. So he's greasing. But one thing he's got to remember, if he runs out of fuel before he can do that one lap after the stage, he's got to go to the end of the line.
Well, now he's decided that he cannot make it. I am stunned at how far he did make. That is about 28 laps on fuel, which is absolutely stunning for these guys to go out there. But now he is going to lose a ton of time on the racetrack to Nick Bauman. So now does he realize, like, my bet is made? Do I take my 4 tires and try to cycle out in front of Bauman?
But then again, he might be looking at strategy, as we were talking earlier, where he's practicing for the end of the race right now too.
Yeah, trying to maximize his fuel, see how far he can stretch it. It looks like he's going to opt for the 4 tires. He does, so that is going to hand the lead back to Nick Bauman. It'll be interesting how that all cycles out. Nick is going to have a mammoth lead over the rest of this pack with his 2 tires stopped. Nicholas Parker looks like he has already completed his pit stop, so he's going to be P2. Yes, he came in 2 laps before Bauman did. So everyone just about on the Bauman cycle there. Butler pitted 18 laps ago, probably got caught up in something, had a short pit. So now we'll see the difference. It's a 1 lap difference between the 009 and the 4. So how much does just 1 lap mean to these drivers on their tires?
That I couldn't tell you, but again, you talk about number 4. We just had Kevin Dixon, the 009. He's coming into the picture. He's, you know, we haven't watched him much tonight, but remember, you're interested. Don't put him out. He's just snuck up right to the top, running third right now.
Yeah, he's going to take third away from the 4 machine there. Matt Brown likewise going through, and Randy Showers, somebody we saw get caught up in something earlier. Now the 24 going to make a big move to the outside of Kevin Dixon here, so guys are being aggressive to come to the stage. But as of now, Nick Bauman heading down the back straightaway. I'm sure the sun is about blinding at this point. You already see it. And from the cockpit view, it is probably much worse for these guys. The sun right in their eyes. You hear him having to still feather that throttle, but Nick Bauman is going to take stage number 1 here this evening, James.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Well, I commend Nick on that. He had great pits. He had a great pit strategy, great pit stop. You know, got back out when he needed to. Everybody else pitted. You know, that's what makes having to pit and race is so much fun.
And you hear him here. He's already back on the clutch, so maybe he took just enough fuel to get to the end of the stage, James, because it sounds like he's already conserving again.
That very well could be. I mean, he's been known to do that. It's, you know, this was one good, you know, we had very little issues here on this first stage. So I think the race is just going to amplify even more.
Absolutely, and definitely, like you said, even for some of the guys we haven't gotten a look at, like Kyle Cameron much or Dave Scott, Bradley here in the 10, he worked his way almost inside the top 10 as the leaders are back on pit road. A guy like Matt Brown worked his way up to P2 there by the end of the stage, so maybe these guys are learning just how hard they can push it in the opening stage. You might see, maybe Nick just says, I'm going to fall back on this stage if it stays green, and I'm going to be there by the end of it. I mean, don't be surprised if you see somebody like in that 24. He had a strong outing last time, or the 00 of Buck, the Juan machine of Juan Escamilla. These guys are just learning in this first stage, like, how hard can I push it on these opening laps to make it to the end of these stages once, if they even get a yellow flag.
Oh, it looks like we might have had a driver not go into the pits. Bradley Forsythe?
He was getting a lap. He was getting a lap back, so he will have to make his way. He's probably going to catch the pace car here, and they'd have to sit on pit road and let the. Yeah, he is a little too far ahead right now, so he'll go down pit road after getting his lap back. I believe Ricky Miles is going to be in the same boat right now, and they're going to have to get their pit stops out of the way. So it should cycle back to Nicholas Bauman, Dustin Buck. Kevin Dixon picks up 2 spots on pit road. Matthew Brown's going to lose 1. And Randy Showers, Nicholas Parker, Dylan Butler in that 96 pick machine. Daniel Smith in the 26 is having a good run so far. Kyle Cameron continues to hang around. Juan Escamilla, Dave Scott, and the guy who we saw get caught up in something earlier, back in 14th, James, but not out of this thing just yet.
Alrighty, so what I'll do is I'll say I had a broadcaster's oops because I was looking at telemetry, then not realizing we had 1 a lap down.
Oh, that's all right. It looks like, yes, he's going to let the field by here. Hopefully he got his, get out of the high lane. Woo! That was close. Let these guys go. Well, James, while we're here, let's see if they are in the chat. They sure are. Let's bring in the stage 1 winner, Nicholas Bauman. It's James and Craig up in the booth. How's it going, buddy? You just yell out to keep us on our toes. You see, you almost put it in the grass doing that. Well, stage 1 in the books. Seeing a lot of guys opt for 4 tires on the first stop. Got 2 that time. How's the grip level out there?
It's pretty good for about a couple laps. After about 6-7 laps, it starts to tighten up.
Well, you did a good job saving that right front tire. Started to pull away from Mr. Buck there. Did we learn anything maybe a little different with the temperatures, or same old for you in the 88 machine?
Same old. Just gotta adapt to the track as it goes on with our forecasted weather. It'll only change further as we go here into the nighttime.
Well,
Nick, who owes who the next bump? We saw at the beginning of the race, one of you was playing door banging to the other. When we were talking about that, saying that's just teammates letting each other know they're out on the track.
Oh, that's just good old hard racing, man.
So was it you that got him, or was it him that got you?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the replay.
Okay, we'll just leave it to good old racing then. But I still think that was a little team rivalry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Something tells me that won't be the last time we see the 88 and the 12 side by side. What do you think?
I think we'll see a little bit more bumping and bruising there. Those two like to have a little bit of squabble before the end.
Well, Nick, congratulations on the stage one win here this evening at Chicagoland. A lot of racing still to go, but you're looking pretty sporty as always there, buddy. Good job on the stage win.
Yep. Thank you, boys. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, we heard one side of the story. Let's bring in the
Yeah.
other side of the story.
Yeah, let's get Trevor up and see what he thinks. How you doing, Trevor? This is James up in the booth with Craig.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, we were just talking to your teammate there about the beginning of the race, and we're curious. Beginning of the race, you two were rubbing doors a little bit, and your teammate was saying that's just good old racing. But is that just you two letting each other know who's who on the race and who's going to be the boss, or what? You tell us.
Me and Nick always run each other hard. We don't, I mean, we're not going to wreck each other, but we always wreck each other up. Just hard driving.
Well, we saw him get away with the stage there. How is the tire wear? We saw a lot of guys opting for 4 early, but as the track cools down, we're assuming we're going to see a lot more 2 tire stops in this thing.
Yeah, I'm sure later in the run and probably maybe in the middle of stages and stuff, we'll probably see some 2 tires.
Well, it looks like
you just don't want to give up all your secrets right there.
It looks like the sun is fairly blinding right now going into 3 and 4. We're getting a look on board with the cockpit. It looks like it is set far enough to be behind those billboards there at 3 and 4, but how was it just a handful of laps ago getting down there with traffic all around you?
Yeah, it was hard to see to turn into the corner. The sun was so bright, but it's coming down now, so it should get a little better.
Well, good luck. You're continuing your march forward. We saw what the 96 did, but we still can't understand what he was thinking. But looks like that issue was resolved immediately.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what was going on there, but he's gone, so hopefully the second half of the race will be cleaner.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back to your chat. We see the lights are off on the pace car. Good luck in stage number 2, Trevor.
No,
Yeah,
thank
good
you.
luck there, Trevor. Well, Craig, all I can say is I don't think neither one of them wanted to tell us
the real story there.
I think they were just both letting each other know I'm going to win this race. And, they're both kind of quiet people when it comes to interviews, but I think deep down if they get together like that again, I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again.
Oh, absolutely. Some more roughing up.
You're a teammate of theirs. I run with you guys in Dark Horse quite a bit. You guys run with us. We're getting to know each other pretty well, and I think there was more to it than that.
I think so too. I'd be willing to bet. Or, it's early. There could have just been smiles ear to ear as they were banging into each other's door.
Ring,
Well,
ring,
Nick
ring.
Bauman takes us back to green flag here. We are 50 laps completed here from Chicagoland. Nick gets a great jump here. So Matthew Brown, Dustin Buck, Kevin Dixon, and Nick Parker in the 4 continuing to battle his way back up into the top 5. Nick Bauman continues to lead us around. James, what do you say while we're at it? Let's crank it up.
I think we should let them hear what it sounds like on the track for a minute, and they don't have to listen to us for a second or two.
All right, here, let's crank it up from Chicagoland. We got some action a little further back in the pack there. You saw it seems like every time we go to crank it up, we have some action on the racetrack. The 10 is going to get caught up. I believe, unfortunately, Brandon Showers may have also gotten a piece of that one. I saw a darker colored car up there. Let's see if we can get a look back at that, James. Out there, he's running the inside of the track. Let's see just what happens here. Looks like he's just washing up the hill. The hands are hard over on the wheel. You see it there. He's just going to slide up into the 23 Brandon Showers. He's not going to be very happy with that one, James. You hate when a driver just washes up the hill. We'll have to get another look on board maybe with the 10 here, what his throttle input was. But yeah, when you're that guy on the outside, that's not how you make friends.
No, and with the number 10, being that he had to catch his laps back during the stage caution, I wasn't really watching, but I wonder if he went into pit or if he just stayed on track and tries a different little field strategy than the rest of the pack. And if he did that, then yeah, he lost the tires, and that's a mistake that would be on him for going up the racetrack like that.
Yeah, it sounded like he didn't feel that car wasn't going to turn until it was a little too late out on the racetrack. Let's go back up front. You see the old Juan bump the wall. Nicholas Baumann continued to put the spanking on these boys. As the lights are on the racetrack, you will start to see the shine. You see the yellow tinge around the racetrack. You see it here. The lights are on. What a great shot here. And, of course, as soon as we get that great shot, the camera likes to change on us. These guys going around. James, I imagine here if we check in a couple laps, these temperatures, the track temp is probably down in the 70s at this point. Well, we have the camera down and out here. We'll go back and check.
We got track temperature at about 74 right now. It's looking like in about another half hour or so, we're going to be down to 72 and into the 70s. So by end of race tonight, we're going to have some cool weather, and they're going to really have to start watching them tires because the cooler weather, they're going to eat up them tires a little faster.
Oh, yeah, the speeds will pick up. The yellow flag is on the racetrack. 5 laps, green flag racing to start every single stage or, stage or start of the race here. So with that 10-car head gone around, that will bring out the yellow flag. Now you've only been out there about 5-6 laps on your tires. What do you do? Yeah, we already saw some guys
take
playing.
tires.
Are you taking 4 though? Are you the guy that says I'll drop back in the pack? Because now you're going to have to run this quite a while there, James. Gonna have several laps on these tires. Do you opt for 4 now, and hopefully the 4 tires pay off on the longer run?
I think I'd go for 4 tires. We're still early in this stage, and if you got 4 tires now and you need to short pit a little bit later, you're going to have a little bit better tire. You'll have 5-lap better tires on a short pit than you would now. So
Yeah, we
I
see
mean, let's see what they're doing. We got drivers taking 4 tires here. I'm not going to mention any names because I know we got some of these drivers that watch our broadcast with us, and I don't want to give out all their secrets, but because we can sit and click through and see what the drivers are doing and stuff like that. So if any of you guys are out there, I'm not going to give all your secrets up.
Well, I'm going to give up the secret. It looked like the 88 decided I want 4 tires now. He knows they're not going to get a caution until they get to lap 90, so they're going to put a lot of wear on these tires. Not sure if the 75 was getting a lap back or if this is just a strategy move for him. Maybe he realizes how much fuel they could stretch it, and doing 1 more lap under caution, James, maybe just gets him to right where he wants to be in the stage to go all out for the entirety of the stage.
Yeah, Dave's he's a thinker. If he decides to stay out and he's doing a fuel strategy, he might be saving his tires, But if you don't have to make that 1 extra pit stop, you're saving a half a lap on that track. So you ain't gonna
Absolutely.
go down. You ain't gonna go down at least a minimum. You go into the pits and you have to change tires. You're gonna be a lap down.
And I mean,
So
this could just be a strategy call for him, knowing that he might be at a point right now where he has enough fuel on board to split the stage in half, short pit these guys, and use up those fresh tires as much as he can to make up track position while these guys' tires start to fall off. So he might just sit here on his old tires, make the best of what he has now, short pit these guys, and see where he cycles out again. Maybe just trying to see what he can do here for the end of the race, how it plays out. I mean, Nicholas Baumann is back there in 7th position now with his 4 fresh tires. Be interesting to see. We saw Buck and the 24, the 01, and the 26 all taking 2. So, and then you have no tires on the front row. So a lot of strategy being played here right now.
Right, that front row, they ain't going to be up there too long on used tires. But if they're saving tires, they're going to only have to 1 pit when the rest of these guys might have to 2 pit it, still to the end of the stage. They have a shot. Not saying they don't. It'd be a good strategy call for the first half of the race. See what the second half does. And we're back to green.
And we are back green. Dave Scott getting going. Could this just be a strategy call for him, or maybe did we miss him coming down pit road right before these guys came in? Maybe he knew the caution was coming out, James, and maybe he got it. He got out pit road. These guys, beautiful sunset. Into turn 3 here. Get a look on board. You see it there. The lights are on. The sun's almost down. We're just coming to halfway in the race here, and have to lift off the throttle a little bit. So. Let's give away the secrets now that it's too late. The 88 already muscling his way to the high side there. The 88 already looking to lead. The 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2. The 01 on the bottom. The 00 on top. The 88 on the outside. The sparks are picking up. The speeds are picking up there. The 01's a
You got
little
the number
loose.
12 coming to the front. He came out about 14th. You got the 24 up there. Oh, they're bumping and banging. 3, 4 wide. 34, number 4, 3 wide, 3 rows deep. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a battle up here tonight, Craig.
Absolutely. They're 4 wide going down the front straightaway, 3 on the racing surface, and 12 below the apron. He's got to blend back in. They're still 4 wide going into 3 and 4. 26 is going to catch the side of the 75, but they all make it. They're still 3 wide, James.
Oh, they are fighting 3, 4 rows back, and you know, the number 12 went down. He was probably going, just don't wreck, guys. Just don't wreck. I don't want to be in the middle, because you know, if they wrecked, he would have been right in. He would have been right in it, even on the low side there.
Absolutely. The 88 driving away right now. These guys continuing their battle up here. Still 3 wide amongst these guys. That is not going to help the 12 being stuck on the bottom of the racetrack. I'm sure he doesn't want to use up his equipment just yet on the racetrack. The 88 continues to lead this thing. Approaching the halfway margin, but we are racing all the way to lap 95 now. So still, what do we got? 32 laps to go in this stage. Plenty of racing. The lights are on here. You see the shine on the top of the race cars now. James, let's get a look on board with the 88. Yeah, that sun is almost all the way down. Our graphic is not giving us, that's giving us the original track temperature. It's not keeping up with what is actually on the racetrack. James, do you have an actual track temp as we run now?
We are running at, right now, I'm showing 74 degrees on the track temp.
So it's almost down 10 degrees. That is definitely going to pick the speeds and the grip level up in these race cars as they go around. Juan Escamilla is actually running down the 88. So is the 88 saving? Did the 01 find something that the 88 hasn't found just yet?
I think the 01 found a lot out from the first part of the race. You know, he went back a little bit during the first. You notice the 01 is back up front running. He's running with the leaders, and the way he's running now, it looks like he learned to save his tires a little bit more.
You see these cars bouncing off the racetrack here, bottoming out as they go over the apron and over the bumps. The low tire pressure should come up as this 30-lap run continues. But you see here when they dive to the bottom, especially 3 and 4, you see the sparks there a little bit off the 88. The turns 3 and 4, James, here look a lot rougher on these cars bottoming out than turns 1 and 2.
I would agree, and you know, but you got these turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 have total different radiuses. So you can't drive into them the same way either.
Some great onboard shots here. Let's go a little further back in the field. You see the 75 has fallen into the grasps of the 5 of Ricky Miles there. The earlier winner this evening from the SMT Racing Series, Brandon Showers, still getting it done here, riding in 11th. Kyle Cameron rounding out the top 10, continuing to have a solid drive for Kyle here. Kevin Dixon still up 14 spots, a guy you said to never leave out of this one. Well, we have a second here. They're getting a great shot here from Chicagoland. The sun's almost down, this beautifully illuminated racetrack of Chicagoland as these guys go around the racetrack, all battling to get here at Chicagoland, Victory Lane. I think they needed a couple more lights there, James, in Victory Lane. What do you say?
When Victory Lane comes up, I'm sure them lights will be on and shining and giving that winner a nice shiny reflection on their cars. They just keeping them off right now, not to distract anybody. Wouldn't you think?
I think so. Well, I want to give one shout out to D&D Graphics for painting some of these race cars here this evening. They're doing some awesome things behind the scene for the S&M guys. They got some hats and t-shirts on the way. Some of them are on the way to some of the drivers now, and getting a shop all set up for all the regulars who come out. Some customizable gear, D&D Graphics painting up some of these cars. Well, also, while we have a second, we've said it a couple times, but you never know who you're going to see in the S&M racing lobbies. Just a few weeks ago, the two guys up top, David Gilliland and Christian Eckes, were running here at Chicagoland with us. Last week, we had the legend himself, three-time Cup Series champion Tony Stewart was running with us at at Daytona. And then the next evening, Tyler Reddick came and raced with these guys here at S&M. Some more awesome aerial shots. Like you said, with these open races to the general public, you never know who's going to jump in here. Tyler Reddick came home P7 that night there, James. An awesome finish. He even got down there and burned it down with the leaders there at the end of the race.
Oh, right. And when you start seeing the big leaguers racing with the groups we have out here on SMT, S&M Racing, they come out and race on S&M tracks. Word's going to get out. Hopefully we see them popping into the races more and more. And, all that'll do is teach every one of these drivers on the track a little bit more out there, because those guys know the tricks of the trade. And people don't know sometimes, but they practice on this program and these tracks just like we do racing. So there's not much of an advantage, just the skill level.
Oh, absolutely. Some time behind the wheel. Max Verstappen actually was talking about iRacing just a couple days ago in his stream, as the 01 is now mounting pressure on the back of the 88 machine here. It was not Vettel. Who was it? The Red Bull guy. Who's won all the championships in the F1 series there. James, help me out. I'm having a complete brain fart. Max Verstappen. That's who I'm trying to think of. Max Verstappen was on his live stream. And people in his stream were asking how realistic is iRacing, and he said it's probably 90 to 95% accurate. The only thing that is really missing is the feel of the G-forces as you go around these racetracks. But he's saying for the most part it is pretty accurate. The 01 has caught the 88 machine here. Dustin Buck not too far behind, so now Juan Escamilla making a charge to the point, James.
Yeah, Juan's there. He's on the low side. He saved his tires at the beginning of this green flag run. Nicholas, he looks like he's going to have a little bit of his hands full, and he just might lose. Oh, nope. Juan came in underneath him again, but Nick knows he's there now. And now we got the 00 Dustin and Buck there. Remember early in the race we were saying Dustin's watching to see what's going on?
And Dustin is looking
going
like he's
into
going to
pit now.
short pit. Yeah, so he is going to try to short pit these guys, maybe cycle out in front of the leaders here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pit length here for these guys. Are 17 in, so maybe Dustin realizes he is in his window, and if these guys stretched it to 28, they are definitely well inside the window here for these for the fuel load at least here. So maybe he's thinking, if I can get down pit road ahead of these guys, use my fresh tires for a lap or two, maybe I will cycle out in front of these guys. But we'll go back here, pull this graphic back up. 18 laps, so these guys have about 10 laps of fuel at their max stretch, so they're going to be close. Do we see fuel saving out of these guys as the 01's going to tap the wall? He was trying to turn it to the bottom of the racetrack. And I'm still stunned, James, and the 88 is still diving that thing to the bottom of the racetrack right now.
Right, and we were just talking about Dustin. He came out of the pits. He stayed on the lead lap, and now he's got 4 fresh tires, and he's just going to fly through. Oh, we got others pitting in there. He might have made the right call. Oh, Dustin got lap, but I think he's going to be back on the lead lap fighting for it.
Absolutely. The 10 is going to miss pit lane, getting in there too hot. The 09, the 55, the 75, the 10, the 34, all on pit road right now. Looks like right side tire is going up on the 009 machine. Does he say I want 4? I see the downshift. Looks like he is heading out, so it's a 2-tire stop for him. Check in on Kyle Cameron as well. See what he has. It looks like the right sides were up on that machine. Longer pals. He's opted for all 4 tires. Maybe on the stage he goes for 3. Daniel Smith, Juan Escamilla, and Nick Bauman, your top 3 out there. Randy Showers is down pit road along with Parker and Brandon Showers continuing his recovery and march towards the front right there. The 10th serving a penalty for getting onto pit road and missing it there. So 23 opting for the right side tires. That's down. He's going to also take 4 tires here. So it looks like the grip levels, these guys are still questioning 2 or 4, James.
Yeah, the 2 or 4 question is that's a question on any pit stop there, Craig. I mean, we both know that you're always asking your teammates, and it's kind of a consensus on what you're going to take and what you're going to do there. So yeah, and on these shorter tracks, it's a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. The extra 8 seconds, 10 seconds you spend on pit road trying to get those 4 tires on there instead of 2 is a long time when these guys are under green flag. I mean, they're getting around this track in about 29 to 30 seconds. So that extra 10 seconds on pit road, that's a third of a lap just sitting there on pit road. Juan Escamilla gets tight up in the early seat. Dustin Butler, his fresh tires going back around. He's technically scored P4 right now. So with the super early short pit here, now the 88 is on pit road. Here comes the 01. He's on a little too tight. He's actually going to hit his teammate. The 01 maybe wore out that right front too much. That's going to hurt his run, but he'll have a stage break to save him. The 26 also on pit road there. These cars look awesome under the lights, James.
Oh, they do. The colors and, you know, the shine off the lights and that just makes watching the race so much better.
Absolutely. So Juan Escamilla and Nick Bauman on pit road. He's going to be sitting there for some services for a while. It seemed like the 88 was on pit road for quite a while. Did he go 4 tires? Not 100% sure. We have the old pit stop time. Don't know how accurate it is. Okay, so if we're deciphering it, looks like 4 tires for Bucks, 4 tires for Bucks, and then 4 tires on that stop there. We don't have the data just yet. Sometimes the data to me, is a little bit confusing. Last pit time, so that's on and off pit road. So Buck was on at 36.5. Haley was on at 36.5. So those are definitely 2 tire stops for them. It takes a lap or 2 for our graphic to come up in there. You see it there, some 42 seconds. So Dustin Buck is going to go back to the lead, but Trevor Haley now right behind him, P2. When did Trevor come in, James?
Trevor was coming in right near the end, you know. I think Trevor had a good pit stop, and right now Trevor's only, you know, you see he's bumper to bumper, a 10th behind. You know, we said at the beginning of the race, Trevor's going to be a force to be reckoned with. You were saying Dustin's going to be a force to reckon with. Now these 2 are going to race. Now let's see if Trevor can learn a little bit from Dustin and make it a good race. Oh, here goes Trevor's going down. He's making
inside.
the attack.
It looks like he might have a lap fresher tires than the 8, than the 00. So
bumped the wall.
So he got the wall there a little bit, trying to get his big arc. So Trevor Haley to the lead with 11 laps to go in the stage. And where does Bauman after all that cycle out? Because now he only has a couple laps older tires than these guys. He's 3.9 behind right now, but with about 5 or 6 laps fresher tires, you can see him out there battling. So I mentioned Nick Bauman is pushing that car to its limits, but in 11 laps before the end of this thing, he pushes too hard, he might just burn off the right front tire, and then catching him is one thing, James, passing him is another.
Stage is at 90, correct?
90, yes, you're right. I keep thinking 95.
We got,
so only 5
we got
laps
5
ago.
laps. We got 5 laps. Nick's going to burn them tires up because he knows he's going to get 4 brand new ones at the stage break. You know, we're looking at, he's 3 seconds down now, so I think he can make it up. He's going to make it a battle for at least second.
Well, he is currently running about 0.8 of a second faster than that last time time around. You see the times there: a 31.1 for the leader, 31.2 for second, and a 30.4 for Nick Bauman, still in that same time. So he has cut that lead down to 2.2 seconds. He's flying. I don't know. Again, getting there and making the pass are going to be two things. It's going to be something to definitely keep an eye on here, James. The gap is closing. He's 2 seconds flat back now, going into 3 and 4, down to 1.8, 1.7. Yeah, about 1.6 here, coming down the front straightaway. 3 laps to go. We'll leave the top 5 ticker on so you can see who's closing on who. Let's go back to the front here. Trevor Haley up front. Nick Bauman is coming though. He is 1.4 back. He's making up quite a few tenths a corner here, about 3/10 a quarter, James. That should get him there, but getting by, we already saw some beating and banging. Is this the point where you might see a little bit more? And same thing to your strategy earlier, trying to figure out, was the 2 tires worth it? Is 4 tires worth it? I mean, you see him there. He's crept into the picture. They have 2 laps to go on the stage, James.
2 laps to go. Yeah, and here we go. He bumped the old 00. He's gonna get by him here on this corner, and Trevor's looking in his mirror and he's going, what did I do now? He's gonna see his teammate there, and maybe we'll see some door banging on that last corner.
Yeah, you saw the aggressiveness from the 88. He's got a huge run going down the front straightaway. Does Trevor try to hold the bottom? He's gonna come down on the door here of the 88. Bauman, 1 lap to go, has made up 3.5 seconds just by his pit strategy call there. Not much of a challenge on those fresh tires, so Bauman back to the lead at a turn 2 for the stage. Wow, I mean, you can see just how much tires mean. Comes back from 3.2 seconds back, and he is going to come down at a turn 4, turn under Ricky Miles. Still has that car gripped to the bottom of the racetrack. Nick Bauman is going to come and win stage number 2, the final stage of the race. What an impressive run for Bauman there, James.
Oh, that was one heck of a run, and you know, you gotta give it. It's all based on pit strategy at this stage of the race.
Well, we saw the 00 come in early and short pick. Trevor Haley went in just 1 lap later, and he made up quite a few spots. You see the the bumping, saying, you got that one, I'm not letting you have the next one there from Trevor Haley. But same thing, a pit strategy call there for the 12 gets him up to P2.
But we can't take away anything from Trevor and Dustin too. They all had different pit strategies, and it was 1, 2, 3. Nick first, Trevor's the 88 first, the 12 second, and the 00 third.
Well, another guy you said not to sleep on the whole race long. You see him there in P4. We got the camera on him. The 009 of Kevin Dixon continues his march forward. Does he have something to say about all this by the end of it?
I will say yes. Kevin's got something to say about it. He's just sitting there kind of in the back watching, studying the race, you know, seeing how everything's playing out. He's been pretty good up there, and his last pit strategy, he put him up there and got himself into position to be fourth.
You still see guys opting for the 4 fresh Goodyears. 88's going to win the battle off pit road. The 12 did 0, and Brandon Showers is going to move up into P4, dropping Kevin Dixon back just 1 spot. One guy who really took the brunt of his mistake there, the Juan machine of Juan Escamilla, sliding onto pit road. So let's see if we can dial up James. Let's see if we can dial up the 009 and get his thoughts of what he's thinking so far in this one.
All righty, Kevin Dixon, it's James up in the booth with Craig. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How you guys?
Hey, we've been watching you run the race tonight, and I'm rooting for you as a teammate in that, but I was telling Craig a little bit that you're just studying the race right now because we know you're a factor on this track. Give us your thoughts of how you're doing tonight.
So far it's gone pretty well. I made a couple mistakes where it dropped me back again, but then I've been able to work my way back to the front. So,
well, we've been watching you, and you've been holding your own pretty good, and it looks like your last pit strategy got you up towards front where you need to be. You won't be in that meat wagon in the back. So, Craig, you got anything for Kevin?
Well, I'm just continuing to impress. Like you said, we saw a couple times you went to the back, you drove back to the front. It seems like pitch strategy is going to have a huge factor into this. Do you have your pitch strategy at this point down pat? Is there still things you're trying to figure out as we get ready to go back green?
I think I got it figured out.
All right, confidence. We love it as the 29's going around the outside. Well, good luck on your race this evening, continuing to march forward there, Kevin.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck, Kevin. We'll talk to you at the end of the race, hopefully. Bye.
All right, man. Lights are back
All
on the
right,
pace
should we
car.
bring
We're not
Nick up,
going
or should we
green
bring
this time.
somebody we
are
haven't
not going
talked to
green.
yet
Let's
tonight?
bring up, he's been quiet here this evening, the winner. Well, actually, let's bring up his father. Let's bring up Randy Showers here. Randy, it's Craig and James up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, guys? What's up?
What's going on? Well, besides dodging other people's messes, a fairly quiet race for you tonight. We saw that wild finish from Daytona. Unfortunately, you got caught up in I would say, I think, James, what we had, 23 cars, and I want to say 20 of them got caught up in that race there. What were your thoughts from the SMT race in this race so far this evening?
Yeah, that SMT, man, I'll tell you what, that was actually a really good race there. I got Brandon loose there, and he shot into the inside, so I just told him to stay there. And I went to move down to side draft, and I didn't even know that zero truck was there. My spotter didn't say nothing, and it just caused all kind of chaos. But yeah, it happens. What do you do, you know? But we're in up front.
Teammate an easy win. That's what you did.
You gave it to a teammate quite easily.
Well, we were trying to get a 1-2 finish here, but it didn't quite work that way. But I'm glad Brandon got the win.
Well, strong running for both of you guys there. Quickly, before you go back green, what are your thoughts going into the end of this one?
Well, gonna try to keep it up here in the top 5. That 88 up there, Nick, he's pretty strong. So hopefully we can get one of these Red Bull cars in victory lane again.
Well, good luck to you, buddy. Always enjoy chatting with you. Good luck on the rest of this one.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Green, green, green.
Well, James, we're back
to green.
I'm telling you, man, your director up here has got to do a better job of keeping track of where we are on the racetrack, because boy, it goes by quick here at Chicagoland under yellow, doesn't it?
You know, I think fans and spectators from the drivers themselves too. They can see what's going on the track, and usually we get to it. We're done with the interview. We say, green, we're on the green, and here we go. So let's get back to the race.
Well, you see those Red Bull cars, they're making up time on the outside, but now you see the 12 getting all over the back of the 88 machine. Do we see the dominance of the 88 machine come to a screeching halt now that Trevor Haley is there, James?
If they play nice, yes.
So you're saying we might see both of these cars facing the wrong direction by the end of their battle?
I wouldn't say not both of them, maybe one of them. And that's a flip of a coin.
Well, they've already showed that they're not afraid to beat and bang with each other here this night. Tonight, the 12 looking mighty sporty, and you not far behind the guys we just talked to there, James, and the Red Bull cars running them both down.
Right, and outside the screen of the top 4, then we got 5 and 6. We got Dustin Buck and Kevin Dixon. You know, if those two would get together and maybe they could get up front and give these other 2 groups a run for their money. You know, I'm rooting for them all. We all have our favorites, but I just want to see a good race.
Absolutely. Well, there goes Trevor Haley on the outside, getting a huge push by the 23 down the back straightaway. The 23 and the 21 have remained at the top of the racetrack so far and have continued to move forward. So maybe they will have a little bit fresher tires going down. You see the 12 cutting the apron here, trying to take the shortest way around the racetrack. Those Red Bull cars, man, they look good, and they have looked sporty so far. Well, one guy, James, who we talked about right before that, also making his way back to the front, the 01 Escamilla. If we get another caution flag, we're going to have to drag him up here and get his thoughts as he continues to power up there. The 88 falling back now, something we haven't seen all night.
Yeah, he ran his tires a little hard, but, you know, don't count him out. You know, that 01, He's been to the front and back a few times. I think he's got this track down. I think he's going to be right up there, and he's going to be giving them one heck of a run.
Well, 23 making a move to the inside on the 12. The 12 trying to keep it wound up, and the guy we were just talking about, Juan Escamilla, is starting to put the pressure on the bumper of the 21 here. The top 5 basically nose to tail with Dustin Buck and Kevin Dixon not far behind. Let's get a look on board with Kevin Dixon here at the battle for the lead, and you see it. They are all over the racetrack up here. Brandon Showers still putting the pressure on the 12. Randy Showers on the outside. Get a look from above of the battle. There are now 3 wide. The 88 trying to make it 3, can't get it to stick. Now the 23 in the side of the 12 a little bit. Now here comes the 21 on the outside, and they're still almost 3 wide going into 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, no love between father and son there. They both want to win.
Well, I'm sure the father is saying, hey, Brandon, you won Daytona. Let me get up here and win this one. I think you owe me. And James, if he's saying that over the radio, I don't think he's wrong. But right now, you still see it there. The Juan machine of Juan Escamilla continuing his march forward. Man, this is getting to be, it turned out to be a great run here. But at the same time, there's still 49 laps to go in this one. Don't burn your stuff up just yet.
No, because they got at least 2 full fuel stops to go yet. So I'm saying at least 3 more pit stops. But you know we're going to have green, white, or
3
yellow
wide
pit.
into 1 and 2. Yes, and then there is still 3 green, white checkers in the bag. Now the 88's tight being on the bottom of the racetrack. Going to give a huge run to Juan going down the back. And with those 2 guys side drafting now, what does he do, James? You think he's biding his time saying, I'm right here right now. I'm continuing my march forward. I'm taking care of my stuff. Does he go and make the big, bold, aggressive move early or with fresher tires? Or is he just saying, I am going to pace myself? You see it out of the 88. He says, I'm going for it. You see the big move to the bottom. See if he can slide up in front of the 01 machine there. Well, he does. One going to give him a big shot down the back straightaway. A bold move there by the 88. But that bold move moves him into P2.
P2. I think he's playing with these guys because he went back and forth here. In the last 3 laps, old Nick there, he was front and back in the top 5. So I think he's playing with these guys a little bit. Wouldn't you say?
You think he might just be sizing these guys up as he's going to make a move back to the bottom of the racetrack here in turns 1 and 2 back under the 12. We already see him getting tight, and he's able to keep it down off the 12 this time. The 12 going to clear him down the back straightaway. The 88 moving in there. The 01 right there of Juan Escamilla, Dustin Buck, and Brandon Showers continue to hang around. And a guy we've seen be pretty strong. He's been quiet all night, but Matt Brown there on the 24 now showing his face towards the front of the field.
Oh yeah, this top set. We got a group of 7 they're all by themselves. They're fighting it out.
And even just behind them, another guy we've had said having a great race so far, all quiet. Oh, the 01 to get a little out of shape there with some guys moving around. Kyle Cameron continue to hang around, continuing to learn. He's got himself in this top 9 pack going around this thing as well. He was the winner at ISS just a couple nights ago, one of the service members that run with S&M. Want to thank him for everything he does for our country and everything we're able to do here in the 55 machine. The 88 and the 12 still duking it out up here. Now you see some crossovers out. The 88 might get to the outside as well. Slams the doors shut as they go into 3, James.
Yeah, you're watching that front. I'm watching this back in the pack, the 21, the 01, and the 009. They're battling positions right now. And we got the 55 that snuck up in the middle here. You know, we got a group of 4 back here in the second pack. You know, sometimes watching the back of the pack's just as fun as watching the front.
Absolutely. And one of the guys, actually speaking of the back of the pack, the Ford machine riding by himself right now. He was up in the mix. Nicholas Parker, another dark horse driver, doesn't come out too often, but rounding out the top 10 right now. We saw him up there earlier. Could he just be biding his time and saving the tires, thinking this might stay green?
You know, that's what makes this race fun. If it stays green, we're going to have 2 live green pit stops to get in here, a minimum, maybe 3. You know, these guys are really thinking now. You know, they're into their fuel run right now. They're starting to think, what am I going to do? We haven't had any yellow flags. I'm going to have to do this on a green, white checkered. Well, one tire, two tires. So when these leaders pit, it's really going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw the 88 opt to stay out as long as he could on his last set, and then go ahead and take 4 tires, and we saw how huge that was. Do you take 2 now and try to do 4 later? As the 88 tries to slide up in front of the 12, he's not going to be very happy with that move, but he gets it done.
No, Trevor's going, what just happened here?
Oh, yeah, Trevor is not going to like that
there
slide
he goes
job.
down to the
Now
low side.
does he pay the favor back? Does he slide up in front of the 88? He sure will. Now what does the 88 do? Does the 88 get to run off the high side and drive right back to the bottom of the racetrack? Man, these guys are swapping the lead every other corner, it seems.
Now this is what makes racing fun, watching these guys fight and battle each other. You know, we're not coming up on a stage break here. We're going to the end of the race. We got 40 laps to go, and these guys are racing like it's the last lap right now. This is fun.
Oh, and the top 5 you can all throw under a blanket, man. There, and you see it here. Guys trying to find clean air. Guys trying not to be in dirty air. Moving all around the racetrack, trying to do what they can to make their way up there. And the 12 and the 88 continue their battle into turn 1. And the guy out of all this, he's been riding 3rd right here. He did have to get a little aggressive to get back to 3rd, but can Dustin Buck just be saying, you two boys have at it. Enjoy the slide jobs, enjoy the aggressive move. You hear it there, it sounds like he might be trailing the brake getting into the corner. He's not letting the motor do all of it. Could he just be saving tires, saying, yeah, boys, have at it. Eat up them tires.
Well, Dustin knows them two up in front of him are teammates, and they like battling each other a lot. He's probably saying, yep, I'll just wait till you make a mistake, and then I'll just take the lead. I wouldn't put it past him.
Just absolutely capitalize on it. It looks like we've already had some cars on pit road. Dave Scott has gone in. Nicholas Parker has gone in. So could we be, well, James, we were under caution at lap 95. We're coming up on 20. So some of these guys realizing, like we said earlier with the 4, saving his stuff. Trying to short pit these guys and make it where I'm only going to make 2 stops, but I'm going to maximize my tires. I mean, you see these guys making these bold moves. The 12 going to try to... the 88's going to try to slide in front of the 12 again. Can't quite clear it. Now the 00 is looking in the middle. No, he's pushing the 88 down the back. Now he's looking to the middle of the racetrack. That's going to get the 12 tight and slow him down. That's going to let Bauman to clear. Now the 00 is going to try to turn under the 12, man. Like you said, they are racing like we are on lap 149 and 150, but we just completed 113.
And it's all clean racing. They're not bumping and banging, trying to get everybody out, get each other out of the way. They're racing each other clean and hard.
And just about everyone hits the wall there off 4. That's how you know sometimes these guys are looking at the car in front of them, trying to figure out where to go. They lose their own spots on the racetrack, and you follow the guy right in front of you in the wall. I know I have been guilty of that plenty of times. Jeff said, as the 23 goes around in the back, he got off the wall there. That will bring out a caution. So the guys who just went down pit road, are they sitting pretty right now? The leaders are raced back to turns 3 and 4. Nick Bauman again back out front, but now, James, this is going to throw a whole wrinkle. Trevor Haley gets the wall again, so with the hard racing, you see these guys bouncing off the wall. They have really used up their stuff.
Yeah, the only one I can see that
Alright, man.
the yellow coming out might help is Daniel Smith if he pitted, because he's 16 seconds behind the leader. The rest are up. He's a lap down now, so all them guys are going to have to go behind the leaders right now to get their lap back. So it didn't help them a whole lot because they weren't able to stay on the lead lap there. But
well, it'd be curious to see if the 26 beat the caution flag on pit road, because then he is free to get his lap back because he was already committed to pit road.
Yes. And that we'll have to wait and see what timing and scoring does for that one. You're correct. But
absolutely, yeah. We just saw the 4 go on the outside, so it looks like those guys may get trapped a lap down. I have the replay. Well, I think the replay, I'm sure it caught it mid-wreck, as it always does here. We'll wait for the leaders to go down pit road and get a peek in at what they do on pit road, James. But this is definitely going to make it interesting now, because now they have, what, James, about 35 laps to go, so there's at least one more stop in this race. And then, what's your strategy then? If it stays green, do you just take enough fuel to make it to lap 150? Or do you be conservative? You take a little extra, just in case a yellow flag does come out, and you have to get on pit road.
Greg, that's $1 million question. I'm not going to try second guess any of these guys. They know what their cars can do. I'm up here in the booth. I'm the couch quarterback here.
Well, the 88 opting for 4. It looks like just about everyone's going for 4 tires here, so not a big shakeup. The 26 is currently being scored as the leader, so maybe he did get lucky and get onto pit road before the yellow flag came out, before pit road was closed. Be interesting to see how that plays out, or if he has to give his spots back. But while we do, let's go ahead and go back and take a look at what happens here to Brandon Showers. Maybe just getting tight off the corner. It looks like he is sliding up a little bit. The 24 is about as hard into the wall as he can, and oh boy.
That looked net code because he snapped right a little bit. That might have been a net code move there.
Absolutely. I wonder if it was net code from the back of the Juan machine of Juan Escamilla there. Let's go back and take a look at it, because yeah, that thing just snaps to the right all of a sudden, James. Get a look on board here. Oh, he gets a little loose. You see the wheels go to the right, or maybe maybe we missed something, James. Maybe there was more to that story on that one. Well, before we go back to green flag, let's hurry up and drag one more guy in here. We're going to ruin his live stream, but Juan Escamilla in the Juan machine. Before we go back green, we've seen you go to the back to the front quite a few times. Is this the point we get to see the Juan go to the lead?
I mean, Craig, I have no idea yet. I take the race on a lap by lap basis, so I just make the best of what I can throughout each lap, and hopefully, if I can make the correct decisions, I can get to the front.
Well,
Well, this is James here. I think we got faith in you. We've seen you go from front to back, front to back. We've seen you saving tires. We've seen you burn your tires off to stay in position. I wish you the best of luck. I think you got a good chance tonight.
All right, thank you.
The Juan machine there. Another guy we'll have to try to get an interview with at some point is the 00 of Dustin Buck. He has been right in the middle of everything, but right now we are getting ready to go back green flag racing here, James. The 10 car getting his final lap back. The pace truck making a hard left. We saw that not work out for the pace car at Phoenix, but they are in the green flag in the Geico restart zone. The 26 immediately going to go up and block the 88 machine. He knows who's been up front. A majority is this one, as they have about 31 laps to go, James.
Yeah, that's going to be 31 hard laps, and we're going to see a lot of action in here. We got the 88 up. He went low. He burned ice. He's going to use his tires up to get up into that front. Then now you got Buck coming in the back. Oh, we got 2 more coming. Oh, we got to fight for the lead already. That fight is only going to give Bowman a little bit more space there.
Yeah, absolutely. The 26 continue to hold strong on the high side. Trevor Haley on the low. Dustin Buck in the middle. But for these guys, the longer they stay green flag or side by side, you're just going to see that 88 continue to pull away. The 12 is trying his best to clear these cats, but he remains 3 wide bottom, James.
Yeah, they're fighting for them positions to get up front. They know who they got to catch there right now, and it's all position. We're talking real estate right now.
And they always say real estate is the most affordable version of income you can have. So right now, that seems to be what they are fighting for back here. The 12 finally gets clear of the 3 wide Juan Escamilla right there. You see Kyle Cameron continuing his strong run. He is now just outside the top 5. He's got 1 position to go, get himself up in the top 5. These guys are all over each other. 26 is actually hanging pretty strong with these lead pack here. Let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, the 26 got big wreck. We got a big wreck. The 00.
24.
Buck and Matt Brown going to take a hard shot here. That will bring the yellow flag back out on the racetrack there. Let's get rid of the pit graphic. You see a ton of damage on the front of the 00. Ripped the whole front end off that thing. Sparks flying out from under it. They're now in the middle of turns 3 and 4. They might have to wait 1 more lap before the yellow flag comes out, because they just went back green flag racing. The 12 has moved his way now up into P3. He is all over the back of the 26 machine. The 26 doing his best to defend. Oh, it's a little bit loose out of the 12. May have clipped the apron here. They are going to race hard back. The 26 is going to tap the outside wall. His tires are about 3 laps older than that. The 21 trying to give him a shot, going to get them all out of shape, man. These guys are really battling for it, but all behind Nick Bauman here. See the sparks
All right, man,
continuing to
caution
fly
is out,
out of
caution
that.
is
There
out.
is the yellow flag. Let's go back here, James, and get a look back here. I have a feeling it was just a fight for, what did you call it there, James? What are they
Fight
all
for
fighting
real
for?
estate.
Real estate. I have a feeling that is exactly what caused that one there. Let's see if we can go back and find it here. For some reason, it's not saying that Dustin Martin has crashed. We all know that to be a lie. We don't have it on there. All we have is Hayden Clubb apparently went around at some point. I wonder if he hit the 00 as he went around. Yeah, all right. So we have it kind of queued up here. Let's see. I don't know why it did not want to give us that
There
these
it is,
guys
right
crashed
there.
right here. This is just gonna be two guys and some net code. The 00 coming up, the 24 coming down. The draft, it definitely is a huge help on the straightaways there. I think that's
Yeah,
just two guys, going for the same spot. The 00 gonna turn under it. Oh, the 75. Oh, yep, the 75 is gonna get a piece of it. I thought he might get lucky, get through that one, James.
right. And I call that one hard racing incident. There was no fault there. It was just hard racing. We're getting near the end of the race, and everybody's fighting to get up front.
We're still seeing these guys opt for 4 tires even on a shorter length, but here comes Kyle Cameron's going to win the race off of pit road. So the guy that we've been talking about having a solid run, he opts for 2 tires, and he's going to lead this thing. Not many laps on those left, so he's thinking his left side tires are going to be just fine. James, what is the track temp right now?
The track temp right now, we're sitting at, it went up a degree. We're at 7. The track temp's showing 75 degrees.
75, so we're holding steady at about 75. That is still a relatively cool racetrack out there. Well, we don't have Kyle Cameron. They like to come in late in their AWR chat, but he is going to be leading this thing, James, as they continue to go around, click off laps, and you look there, just behind, who do you have sitting right there, James?
Oh, we got old Kevin Dixon there.
And he said
Go ahead.
Oh, he was just saying he's taking it as it comes on the racetrack. He's continuing his march forward. We've noted all night long. He was in the back. Then we called he was up to 10th. Then he was up to 5th. And now all the way up to P2, James.
P2, yeah. I just wonder, my curiosity right now is the 55 there. He's, he took one side tires. I'm real curious to see what the track temps are right now. What that left side's going to do. Is that going to hold him down and save him, or is he just going to be getting loose really quick?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Not many laps on the left side tires for these guys. So maybe now this is when we're going to see the strategy call up. Maybe we saw those guys taking 4 tires thinking if we get another yellow, that is when we'll come take our right side tires. So our left side tires aren't too old, but I have a feeling as this race continues to move forward there, James, I don't think we're done seeing, we haven't seen our last caution, that's for sure.
No, but they do have enough fuel to get to the end of the race. So if they do go in one more time, they're just going to go in for a splash of fuel to get those green-white checkers. But right now, we have enough for the end of the race.
Well, they have enough. James, why don't you take us to green flag here?
Well, we're coming to the green flag here, and the 55 takes off, and we already got a fight. Let's see, Kevin was going to push. It comes out. We got the 88, the 23, and the 12 on the bottom row. They're pushing hard. The 55's falling back a little bit. We got a fight. We got a fight coming up here.
Yes,
so
we do.
That 2-tire check did not help him out
wide
much.
Going into thirds, 3 and 4. They all make it. You see the cars bottom out. Nick Bauman with his 4 tires is going to rocket back to the lead. But who's right behind him? But the 12 car, Brandon Showers, has continued his march forward now. So the fight only intensifies for these guys. Trevor Haley. Now, what does he have for Bauman? We've seen Bauman absolutely dominating this one tonight, but 12 has been a formidable foe when he has gotten there.
Oh, we got Nick went down. Trevor stayed high. Nick Bowman's, he's back up front. We got the 23 coming up. And we got 01. He's coming into fourth place, passing the 55. And he takes fourth position over. Oh, and here comes Kevin Dixon. He's coming up. We're going to have a battle of sticks for the lead here soon.
The 01 putting it 3 wide, going down the back straightaway. Does he have enough momentum to clear the 55? Yes, he does. Now, what does he do into turns 3 and 4? He's going to dive it off in there. It still seems like the 4 tires might be the move on the initial start. The 55 and the 009 dropping back now. I just cannot believe that the left side tires are being as much of a factor as they are so far.
They looked like they were a factor on the start, but as the tires warm up for everybody, it looks like he's on pretty even keel right now. Let's see what happens in about 5 more laps.
Yeah, it seems like off the initial start, the 2 tires did not take effect, but right now they're not really losing. They're hanging in there. So, again, was that just a, well, let's see what happens on 2 tires now as we might get some more yellows. Back here, the 00 continues his march forward. A guy we haven't talked about too much in the 75 machine has now cracked the top 10. Does Dave Scott becoming a factor in this one? Tommy Rogers hanging strong just outside the top 10. He's actually up 16 spots from where he started. And Ricky Miles back here battling Nicholas Parker in 14th, and Peyton Kaleba and Matt Brown we saw get caught up in that wreck just a few laps ago, is riding around 16th position. Last car on the racetrack. So we have seen some guys drop from this one. Nick Bauman continues the lead. We are on 19 laps to go. Well, James, I got to ask now, who is your pick to win?
Oh, you would ask me. Who would I venture to say? You know, I'm still saying if we have another yet, let's go. I'm going to pick 2. I'm going to say Trevor is going to get around Nick if we go to the checker flag here. If we have one more pit stop, I'm going to go with Kevin Dixon, who's running right now in 6th place.
So he's your front runner is Trevor Haley, and your dark horse pick as of now is the 09 of Kevin Dixon. Is that what I'm hearing? The 12,
That's
all
what you're
kinds
hearing.
of pressure all over the back of the 88, trying to wash him up the hill. Hang on that quarter panel now. He's going to dive it down. Who's going to get this lap around? The 01 to the outside. Brandon Showers is like, where do I take my run? He doesn't really have a spot right now. 3 wide for the lead through turns 1 and 2, James. The 12 washing up. The 88's going to get the 01. Oh, man, if these guys aren't careful, Brandon Showers is going to walk into another one.
Oh, exactly. And, you know, them 3 wide right there, their tires were holding. So these guys are managing their tires well right now. We don't see a lot of sliding up right now. These guys are holding these cars straight.
Definitely see guys trying to get out of that dirty air. The 01 continues to make his way forward. If I had to pick a front runner, I mean, the guy has dominated the whole race. I think the obvious pick right now is Nick Bauman. I think for my dark horse pick, I am going to go with the 01 machine of Juan Escamilla to steal this one at the end. It's just so hard to not pick the 88 machine with the performance he's put on here tonight.
I'd agree with that. And, you know, he is the front runner. He's won the stages. You know, Trevor's always a strong contender. And I'll be honest with you, Kevin Dixon's a running mate of mine on the team. I had to go with him. He's been up there battling hard today, you know, and I'm just hoping.
Yeah, another guy, if I got to pick 2 dark horses, Kyle Cameron, we saw him be aggressive on his pit call there on the last yellow flag that came out. Don't be surprised if he doubles down on that and then just becomes a lot more aggressive on the start if it has to go that way. Dustin Buck has been up there, but right now he's continuing to do what he's done all night and just kind of walking away from the field right now, James.
They are, and we've got 12 laps. We're coming up on 12 laps to go. Enough fuel in there. Now it's just tire management. Who's going to manage your tires the best to win the race? And right now, the best tire management I've seen tonight would have been Nick Bowman, because that man can. He's not burning them tires up. If he would, he wouldn't be sitting up front most of this race.
Yeah, I mean, I am just astounded at the way he's able to save that front tire. He must have found the sweet spot with lifting or trail braking getting into the corner, because he stayed at the bottom of the racetrack most of the night. And usually we see these cars here right up against the wall all the way around the racetrack, trying to keep their momentum up. The 12 has gotten back by the 23, so maybe the 12 is cooling his tires down for the run. Juan Escamilla has made his way down pit road, so are these guys maybe not as good to go on fuel as we think there, James?
Well, by the numbers and that, they should have enough fuel, but maybe he's planning for that green-white checker.
An interesting call here from the 01. Yeah, we're about 15 laps in with 12 to go. Gonna put you at 27. Maybe he's thinking it's just not gonna be enough to get you to 28. Maybe he's hopeful that these guys don't save fuel, and he's gonna maximize his 2 fresh tires on that. Nick Bauman continues to lead around the racetrack. So we saw what was that, 26, James. So it is going to be fairly close on the fuel here. You know, that's right at the mark. I mean, it is close. Do you clutch around the racetrack? Are you trying to save right now? Or if you're Nick Bauman, you're just putting the pedal to the floor, seeing what gap you can open up, and just making your bet saying, I'm taking a splash of fuel at the end of this thing?
You know, I'm not in their heads. I want to speculate, but the race has been so good. I think if it stays green, they're going to have enough.
So you're betting on these guys having enough to make it to the end. Well, we are coming down now. 9 laps to go. Trevor Haley fading a little bit here. Brandon Showers staying right there with him. Dustin Buck has gotten his way back up into the top 5. He's riding for Randy Showers. There comes the 55 with Kyle Cameron. And Kevin Dixon still holding strong on those 2 tires. Here comes the 01 on the outside, 26 in the fence. If you're one, you have to maximize those tires now. You can absolutely not have lap traffic get in the way. You see him give the bumper to the 26 saying, get out of my way. I have fresh tires. I need to get gone here. If these guys have to pit, the 01 definitely is in a position to steal this away from them, because with these guys running these slower lap times, you see the speed difference there from the 01 car. He's a little loose hanging onto that thing, but just look at the massive run. So if these guys do have to go down pit road, that is going to put the 01 out there by quite a margin by the end of this thing.
Oh, exactly. And if he can get past the leader, he's right now fighting to get back on the lead lap. If he can get back past that leader and everybody pits and goes to green light, you might be looking at the winner right there.
Yeah, that's a great point, James. I mean, if they do not have enough fuel on board, you never know what's going to happen. You see 170, so maybe Nick isn't hard in the throttle right now. He is about 7 miles an hour slower than max speed going down the straightaway, so maybe he's saying, I only need a 10th or 2 more of fuel. If I can save it, I can make it. It's going to be close as they come to 6 laps to go. Get an onboard shot here from Trevor Haley. He sees him out there in the distance. Also, did we see Trevor Haley fading earlier, saving fuel? And maybe here with 5 laps to go, now he puts the pedal back down while the 88 is trying to save fuel. Maybe Trevor already had saved his fuel, where he knows he's good to go here in just a lap or 2. And then he makes that 88 mirror drive. Maybe the 88 has to put the throttle down. Man, it is going to be interesting here. A lot of strategy on this race tonight. It was not about being the fastest car on the racetrack, as the lead is starting to close up just a little. Oh, the 12 is a little loose right there. Did he get some help? I hear a car underneath him. Yeah, the 01 said, get out of the way. I'm coming through. So he got a little help there from the teammate going down the back, or in through turns 1 and 2. As Nick Bauman is leading, coming to 4 laps to go. Man, a caution definitely throws a wrench into this whole thing, especially if the 01 can get around. He'll cycle to the lead, but he'll have the oldest tires out of everyone, so the pit strategy thing never changes.
No, but, as we see, the 01's now, You know, Nick's saying he's going to let him pass. He knows he's got a full lap to catch up. He's on the 01's on the lead lap now, but you know, like I was saying, I think it's going to go all the way to green, and now it's Trevor. Trevor needs to put that pedal to the metal and hope he's got enough tire, or you got the winner on your call tonight.
Well, I wouldn't count out the 12 just yet. He's made up 0.2 of a second in the last lap, so it really depends on who's got the fuel, because you still see here only 182 down the back straightaway. Now it seems like the 88 is picking up the pace a little bit. He may be in his green light to make it to the end of this thing. The 12 up there on the high side with Brandon Showers. They're still getting a draft off each other, so the other thing is the 23's been following the 12 this whole run. He might have been able to save more fuel than all of them.
With 2 laps to go, we're
Oh, big hit for the 23 in the outside wall right there. Well, yeah.
I can hear Bowman say no yellow, no yellow, no yellow.
Yeah.
He's coming up on the white flag. He's just hoping not to see a yellow before he crosses that line.
Well, he won't see it. They are on the final lap from Chicagoland. Does the 88 have enough fuel? Can the 12? Does he have enough fuel? He has lost some ground to Bauman. It doesn't seem like anyone is underpowered just yet. Juan Escamilla still hanging on to that thing, trying to get it as Bauman going down the back straightaway. Well, as of now, it seems like that car has plenty of power left in it.
He just stepped on the gas. He ain't running out of fuel.
No, he might need fuel for the burnout, but tonight is going to be all Nicholas Bauman here from Chicagoland. Trevor Haley, Brandon Showers, Dustin Buck, Kyle Cameron is going to round out the top 5. Another great run for the 55 machine here this evening. A ton of strategy here, James. What did we think of this one here tonight? It wasn't a super speedway, but man, it put on some entertaining racing and a ton of pit strategy in this one.
You know, for a Chicago race, I think it was one of the great races we've seen so far. Very few cautions, very few bumping, lots of respect. These drivers put their heart into it tonight, and it was a lot of clean green-white race or green flag racing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You see some of these guys coming up here. Gotta congratulate the 88 on his win here this evening. The 88 car burning it down. Well, let's bring in the winner here, Nick Bauman. Well, you have your burnout. Congratulations, an absolutely dominating performance for you here tonight at Chicagoland.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I have one question before we let James get in there. How much fuel is left in that thing?
I just ran out of gas to my burnout, if that tells you anything.
There you go. Well, James, we said it was going to be close.
That was awful close, yeah. That was the question I have for you, Nick. Congratulations on the win and the stage wins tonight. You ran one heck of a race. Your teammate was giving you a hard time tonight. The 01 was up there pressing. The Showers were pressuring you tonight. You handled it very well tonight.
Yep, thank you. I tell you what, Trevor does not make it easy at all. I don't know how it looked on the TV. It was fun as hell before that last caution came out.
Yeah. You made it look simple on the screen. We weren't behind the wheel, but you made it look pretty simple tonight.
Well, great win for you here in the 88 Mountain Dew machine. Is that part of your plan? You run a scheme until you win in it, and then you switch it up there, Nick?
I don't know. I just really like this car.
It did look awesome
a little bit
under the lights. Can you talk to us for a quick second in the transition from day to night? Was there a big difference in the handling of the race car? Normally we see everyone at the top of the racetrack. Tonight it seemed like you figured out something to keep your car at the bottom of the racetrack.
Surprisingly enough, it felt like the car got tighter when it got darker out, especially in 3 and 4.
Really?
I figured out you just back up the entry of the corner a lot. You could power out of the corner and carry a lot of speed down the straightaway.
It definitely seemed like that's where you were making up a ton of time. Well, overall, compared to the last Chicagoland setup, obviously this might come with some bias, but what do we think between this setup and the last setup?
Both of them are good. I really like this one. You did a really good job on it.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Well, once again, and absolutely, well, let's just call it an old school ass kicking here tonight from the 88 car. Good job on the win, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's bring Trevor in and see what his point of view was tonight.
Let's bring in the driver of the number 12 machine here. Uh, Trevor, it's Craig and James up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. How are y'all?
Well, we're doing pretty good. It seemed entertaining. The 88 kind of put it to the field tonight. He did say you don't make it easy on the racetrack. You were battling with him for quite a while on the racetrack. What were your thoughts on the whole race this evening, and just the overall setup, how the race ran, and just your point of view of tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I had some trouble early on and went like 2 laps down, but I battled back and was able to get back to the lead. And me and Nick had a hell of a race. Me, Nick, and Juan and Blandon. Dustin was up there at times. It was a lot of fun. Me and Nick were just mirroring laps there at the end. I couldn't gain. I'd gain 1 lap, then he'd gain the next. I thought, I might have had him because I got under him that last run, but then Juan took it 3 wide and Blandon was there, and I fell back to fourth. And then I had to work so hard to get it back around them, and I didn't have nothing left.
Well, same question we asked Nick there. How much fuel did you have crossing the start finish line?
Oh man, to be honest, I didn't even look. I know when I was celebrating with Nick there, I ran out, so probably not much.
Probably under half a gallon. Well, James, do you have anything for the P2 finisher this evening?
Trevor, just good race, good second finish. I had you as my first pick to win it. I was hoping to see you get the last couple laps past your teammate there, but just didn't happen tonight. But congratulations on the second.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry I couldn't get it done for you, but it's a lot of fun. Hopefully,
Oh,
it'll
you'll
be
get
fun to
it done
watch.
another night. I don't doubt that.
We'll see.
All right, thank you.
Trevor Haley, P2 tonight. Let's go ahead and bring him back in. Well, he left early this evening. We already got him for a couple interviews. He was the Daytona winner, but let's bring in another guy here. I believe he is still in the chat here.
Dustin?
Dustin Buck, it's Craig and James up in the booth, man. One hell of a race for you tonight, battling back from a late race crash and still managing a top 5, buddy.
Dustin, you there?
Dustin, you got a copy, buddy? Dustin, he must have stepped away for a minute. So while we have the opportunity, he snuck away on us last evening with sneaking out a top 5. But here tonight, he rounds out another one. Kyle Cameron, you jumped in the chat. Another top 5 for you tonight here at Chicagoland.
Yes, sir. It's a different animal, these short tracks, man. I tell you what, it's a whole new learning curve for me.
Well, we
this
saw
is James here.
Go ahead,
got
James.
Got a question for you.
Yeah.
Craig and I were talking when you took them 2 tires and you lost the lead right away. After a couple laps, you held your own. Can you give us a little bit on what you thought, what your strategy for 2 tires was? We were second guessing that.
I don't know, man. I tell you what, this is my first short track race in these cars. I was winging it. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I thought everybody else was gonna take 2, so I took 2, and it put me out front. And I've never restarted on these short tracks. I didn't know what to do, so I went outside because that's where I knew I was decently quick. And yeah, Nick and them just blew by me on the inside, and I was like, man, all right.
Well,
you
not
put
to
that
give
one
up
in the
any
memory bank.
Yeah.
Not to give up any secrets, but you were the only one that took 2 tires, and you still held on. After a couple laps there, you didn't let anybody get by, and you held your own. So congratulations, and I still think that was a good decision for you. We just didn't know how it would play out.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I definitely had one line that I felt like I was hauling butt with. But every time I would go on someone's inside to get around, I couldn't be faster on the corners. I was just struggling with getting around people.
Well,
I'll make a note of that when I'm on Chicagoland next time.
well, another top 5 finish for you this evening, man. You're really starting to put this streak together. We're gonna have to start picking you as one of our favorites for the races here because you've definitely been putting out a show here lately. 150 laps. You did say you're not used to this track. what did you learn from lap 1 to lap 150? I mean, was there a technique? Was there just something how the car handles? What did you take away from this one?
Definitely the lift points as your tires get worn. That is the biggest thing I learned today. From the beginning, I was sending it way too deep and wondering why I was coming out of the corner so slow, and quickly learned where to lift and how to come out of the corners faster than go into it.
Yeah, there's definitely something to learn on every racetrack, and definitely things you can take back to the super speedways here, on these cars and just how they move in the air and stuff. Well, again, congratulations on the top 5 here this evening for you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Kyle Cameron
Right.
in the 55 machine. Well, let's see if he's still at his mic, shall we? Let's see if Kevin Dixon is still here. Comes home one spot shy of a top 5, but the biggest mover in the race, 17 spots up, one short of the top 5, Kevin. But man, you drove the wheels off that thing. Oh, Kevin has stepped away. He's got his mic off right now. Kevin
Well,
stepped
let's see
away
if
for a
we can
minute.
get Dustin real quick. See if his mic's on.
Let's see. Is Dustin? It's Craig and James back in the booth. Are you still here with us, brother? He is not back yet this evening. Well, we saw a great race here this evening. The showers really also put on a great run. I also want to give one more shout out to one more guy out here, maybe two more, but the 34 car of Tommy Rogers. He stole one or two of these away, including one here at Chicagoland, James. He was up 16 spots from his starting position, one shy of a top 10. So another great run for Tommy Rogers of the SMT team.
Right. You know, and a lot of people don't realize when you can get go from the back and come up to the front and have so many positions at at the finish. I've been there a lot of times, and sometimes just being one of the drivers that advance the most, that's a win in itself because that tells yourself and it tells the drivers, I'm improving. And
Oh,
if drivers look at it that way, in that they can look at themselves and say, I'm improving every race. That's going to make our races 10 times better because the Trevor Haleys, the Nick Bowmans, the Dustin Russ, Kevin Dixons, all them drivers that are always up front, they started the same way all these new drivers have started. And I'm sure they looked at it. Hey, I advanced this many positions in this race, this many positions in that race. That gave them confidence. That gives them the confidence to run up front all the time. And I think a lot of the drivers that race with us that are newer drivers and that they can learn. And if they look at it's not the win, it's how many positions and how you're driving each and every race improves themselves. We're going to have a league down the road that's just going to have racing like this every single night.
Oh, and absolutely. And you might have not got to the front and to the lead in this one. However, I mean, like you said, when you're driving from the back to the front, not only are you're learning, but you're having fun. You're passing guys. You're moving forward on the racetrack. I mean, and it comes away one position shy of a top 10, but I mean, what you gain in knowledge by coming up through the field on a race like this tonight. I mean, when we come back here, don't be surprised if you see the 34 knocking on the door of the top 5. He figured out what it took to get through the field here from the back, and now he's got some laps under his belt, so maybe a better qualifying effort, and he'll take the lessons from this evening here, and maybe improve on it a little further down the road. Well, that wraps it up for us here at S&M tonight. Tonight's winner in I said it earlier, James, an old school ass kicking here. I mean, we definitely had a ton of lead changes and swaps, but James, I'd be willing to bet that Bauman put up at least 100 laps led here this evening. Both stages
Well,
went to the 88 machine. Your final thoughts on tonight's race, James?
my final thoughts is a great race, and we couldn't ask for anything better. And you just asked a question, and I will give you the answer. Nick Bowman led 96 laps of the race tonight.
96 of 150 in both stages. I mean, he had it figured out this evening. Well,
And Trevor ran 30 lead laps. So in the two, we were looking at 126 laps between the two of them.
and which is a wild thing considering how many lead changing and how much battle we had at the front of this thing. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the S&M iRacing Motorsports here this evening. James Jepson and Craig up in the booth. S&M. One last shout out to our sponsor, Mr. D&D Graphics. Let's see if I can find it. There it is, D&D Graphics, for coming on board, helping these guys out. Again, if you do be one of the four, it would be awesome. Their like, share, comment is always awesome there to see these guys continuing to do what they do on the racetrack. We will be back at it again. We will work on getting these schedules up for everyone who's following. They'll get a pre-alert. Hopefully, James, we get you up here in the booth a little more often with me.
Oh, it's fun. I love doing this. I'm told I need to soundproof my room because my wife tells me I need to be quieter just to give you guys out there in broadcast land a little bit. I've got one of those voices and stuff like that. I love the race, but Craig, we talked about this before. This is enjoyable. You're doing it more and more. I like doing a couple races, but my availability isn't quite as often as yours. But being your sidekick is a whole lot of fun.
Oh, it is a blast to have you up in here. Well, that wraps it up for us this evening. We appreciate everyone coming out and taking a look at us for the first or the second race. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, we had one commenter. Do we have Dustin Buck up here in the booth before we get out of here? No, we still don't have him. He was commenting in the chat. Try to get him his top 5 interview. Something's going on with your mic there. We can't hear you, Dustin, but congratulations on the top 5. From everyone here at the CSR Broadcast Network, including Craig and James, thank you guys so much for coming out and taking a look at everything on the racetrack this evening.
Thank you all.